So the guy said, okay, go in there, put on a coat, put the breathing apparatus on, the helmet. So I'd never even been around anything related to the fire department. I'm a college graduate too, so I go in and put the bunker coat on. I'd done some scuba diving. I didn't know shit about a BA. You know, the regulator of the scuba rig comes up here. So I put the helmet on, I come out. I have the BA on upside down and the helmet with the big brim up here. I didn't know shit about it. The guys looked at me like, look at this dumbass. And to this day, Mike Richardson makes fun of me now 33 years later. And when I got offered the job, that's the only test I ever took. Just very, very lucky. And I didn't know it at the time how lucky I was. In fact, our chief Angelo at the time offered me the job on a Friday. And after that same week, I got offered a job as an assistant comptroller for a shipping company up in Anchorage. And I said to the fire chief, hey, do you mind if I think about it over the weekend? And he said yes. I mean, nowadays they'd say you're walking. So sure enough, I thought about it over the weekend, which way do I go? And called him and said I'd take the job. They called us in the next week, and I got hired with two other guys. Mark Golder, who didn't make probation, but went on to be a long-term firefighter now, retired out of Everett, and Phil Herrera's, who's still there. So these guys are ex-military guys, and we're all sitting in this chief's conference room, and we have Assistant Chief Labor, who was ex-state patrolman. Marburg was a long-time old curmudgeon, and the fire chief. So we're all sitting there, at the table. These two guys are inside me, and this Bill Labor, we were really militaristic back then. And he's like, do you guys want this job? And these two guys jump up, yes, sir! Like this. I'm still sitting like, what the hell have I done? And so then, of course, he looks at me, Markley, do you want this job? Yes, sir! I'm like, shit, I can act. I can do whatever you need me to do. So from that point on, I went 4 years on the job, and I advanced to lieutenant. 10 years after that, I advanced to battalion chief, and I've been a battalion chief for the last 17 years. And but it's been a great ride. And I started this with like, hey, I wanted to go to law school, and Norm kind of was very humble yesterday. When Norm went through law school, he went through an MBA program at the same time. So he got his MBA JD while working at the fire department. But I just took a different path. I turned down a division chief job 7 or 8 years ago because I wanted to, I took the union track. I became our union president in '96. I started negotiations in '85. Became the Secretary Treasurer of the State Council in 2002. So I've kind of carved my path. I've been asked to be a fire chief in several departments, and I've told them no. We have a vacancy in our department in Puget Sound Regional Fire Authority. If I say can't, it's hard to get that out of my mind. But some people are asking, hey, would you mind being the chief in Kent? And I don't think I'm really interested in that because I'm not done doing what I'm doing here. So what we're going to do here this morning, what my expectations of you, nothing. Just sit back, relax, you're not taking any notes, we're going to try to have some fun with this. And my goal here is to talk about the history of the things that have happened in the fire service before you came on, the sacrifices that people have made. We've heard a lot about that over the last 2 days. I congratulate you for here for the last day. And what we're going to do is, what I've done is I've gone back in time, found the #1 song, whether it's pop, rock, country, for that year. We're going to play a little clip of that song, and we're going to talk about some of the things we accomplished that year as well. And then at the same time, kind of the backdrop, we're going to follow a firefighter and his life as he progressed through the fire service. So let's start with 1918. We are going to go 1918. No, this is the #1 song in 1918 when the International was formed. don't make me cry. Just the baby's breath I want. Good beat, huh? Good dancing beat. So you guys watched the video, I think, on the first day of the history of the International. It talked about Pittsburgh being #1, Chicago being #2, and those within 1 year of the International being formed, there were 149 locals across the country. And it's really amazing how that we're issuing numbers in the 5,000s now as far as local numbers, but we don't have 5,000 locals because if two locals merge, they usually take the lower number. So I'd have to ask Kelly, we probably have around 3,000 locals in the US and Canada. 3,400, pretty close. So then back then, and also in there, so Tacoma worked a continuous service. And in 1917, they went to that two-platoon system. I think Jeff brought that up yesterday. So let's fast forward to 1939. #1 song. You guys have all heard this. We're looking at time. So 1939 was when our state association was formed, and this presentation is probably heavily weighted towards the state council in Washington, because that's where I'm from. But we do have things for all of the other 3 states in our 7th district. So then we're just going to zoom forward here. 1970. All right, 1970, the Law Enforcement Officers and Firefighters Pension Fund was established. Before that, we were all under a law that was passed in 1955 called the Fireman's Pension and Relief Fund. So that was a big deal for us. You're going to see as we progress how things have changed over the years. And then collective bargaining became a law in Idaho. They didn't have it up until 1970. All right, 1971, when we held our first Redmond Symposium. Now, if you get an opportunity to go to that, it's the premier health and safety symposium for firefighters in the world. And we do that every other year now. So as you progress in your career, maybe some of you have an opportunity to go there, please take that opportunity because it's about all the cutting edge things that are happening around the world for us as firefighters in the EMS arena, in fire suppression, bunker gear, breathing apparatus, all kinds of things. There's some prototype breathing apparatus out there. Total weight is 7 pounds. And they're working on that, including the mask. So please, if you get an opportunity, go to their Redmond Symposium.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is alright with me. 'Cause you make
all familiar with, Squad 51, right? Gage and DeSoto. So this was out of LA, a paramedic rig. You guys have seen the show. This really brought to the forefront to the American public what we did as firefighters. Johnny Gage there, a guy named Rudolph Mantooth, the actor, still speaks at our Redmond Symposium and has spoken all over the world on behalf of firefighters and the things we do and the dangers we face. And it was after this show that you really saw paramedic programs popping up. In 72, actually in 73, the Medic One program in Seattle started. And that was the start of the paramedic program about 1970 in LA.
I've been really trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, then come on, oh, come on, woo, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's go, baby. Let's get it on.
It's some good shit. I'm telling you guys, there's some good stuff in there. All right, so Washington Public Safety, we gained collective bargaining in 1973. And then this this white paper was put out in the same year called America's Burning. And just to put it in perspective, there was a polio epidemic in 1952, and like 45,000 people died. And in that same year, 100,000 people in America died in fires. In Vietnam, God bless all those guys and gals that died there, 43,000 Americans died from that, I think it was 70, right here, from 61 to 72, 43,000 of our brave soldiers died. In that same time, in America, 143,000 people died in fires. So this report, you'll see, led to the Fire Academy, led to fire prevention activities. There were no smoke detectors back then, and this was the real start to our modern fire service.
Like the corners of my mind, misty watercolor memories of the way we were. Scattered pictures of the smiles.
All right, 74, Federal Fire Prevention and Control Act establishes the National Fire Academy that I just mentioned with recommendations of that report. Since that time, literally millions of our members have gone through that Fire Academy. It's free. If you have an opportunity to go to that, it's free, free tuition. I think all they ask you to do is just get a plane ticket back there and everything else is covered. So through your career, certainly look at the National Fire Academy. All right, so now we're gonna get into my interpretation of where we're going. Shit. Did I do it? Sorry, Buzz. junior high. I'm on the wrestling team. And I'm not kidding you, my hair is nearly this long. Excuse me. But what I wanted to point out here in 75, and I'm going to back up real quick here. Jake, where's Jake? Jake was born in 74, all right? And we're going on to 75 here. Dale was born in 75. So the Public Employee Relations Commission was established in Washington State in 1975. And that is really an organization that helps solve labor disputes for locals in our state. And it's proved to be a big deal for us when we can't get along with our employer and they come in and make the decision for us. Let's go on to 76. This is good stuff here.
We got a breaker on 9. This here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, Big Ben? Come on. Oh, yeah, 10-4, Big Ben, for sure, for sure. By golly, it's clean clear to Flagtown. Come on. Yeah, it's a big 10-4 there, Big Ben. Yeah, we definitely got the front door good, buddy. Mercy sakes alive. Looks like we've got us a convoy.
It was a dark moon on the 6th of June in a Kenworth pulling logs. Cab over Pete with a reefer on and a Jimmy calling hogs. We was heading for...
All right, so everyone's song. Michael, you were born this year. And then as you can see there, the federal public safety officer's line of duty death was established at $50,000. With inflation now, that benefit just for 2017 is $343,000. And if you die, there's an educational allowance for your spouse and children of $1,021 a month. So somebody, this really was probably from the international, went to one meeting, they went to 10 meetings, they went to 100 meetings until we got stuff like this passed. And that you're going to find that that is the repetition of everything that happens in our organization, things people have done before you, so you have these kinds of benefits. I mean, you're not going to know you got this benefit because your dad, but your family's going to have it, right?
Stay away from my window. Stay away from my back door. Disconnect the telephone line. Relax, baby, and draw that line. Kick off your shoes and sit right down. Loosen up that pretty French girl.
All right, 1977. The law enforcement officers and firefighters Plan 2 started, Left 2. The big deal about that, remember we started it back in 70. When that changed, we had no medical or retirement and very little disability benefits. So I think this is a perfect example of losing something in Washington State. And really we had Plan 1s were across public employees, teachers as well, and they just made this sweeping change and took all of those Plan 1s away and we went to a Plan 2. So that was the key, was the more medical. You'll see what we've done to try to solve some of those things over these last few years.
When I see your face like the morning sun is starting to shine. Tell out the world, all I need is to feel that the moon is right. Just don't make you feel, there is no fear of a big reason. But when I'm away, it was straight, my mind is free. I wanna see your face in the morning sun and my energy. But now we know that you do, and don't forget in my life to me.
All right, okay, we're good. 1 second. All right, so come on. Me, Ryan, Jason, you guys were born in 78. In 78, when deferred comp plans became available for public employees, we didn't have it in 78. This was another action from somebody at the IAFF, went to 1 meeting, 10 meetings, 100 meetings, or more to make that available for us. the benevolent employers just didn't give us our 457 plans. There were 401k type plans for private industry, but we had nothing for public employees. All right, 1979, our state association purchased a condo in Olympia, and we're going to get into why this was important here a few years down the road here. So our lobbyists, who often didn't live locally in Olympia, oftentimes we had our lobbyists from Spokane back during that time. So we had some place for them to live during the legislative session. Since that time, we've purchased another condo and sold this condo. We bought this condo for $26,000 back in this year and sold it for $126,000 last year. So now we have another condo, and we're going to talk about that a little later. All right, 1980, Dave, Josh, Ben, Sean, you guys were born in 1980. The Idaho State Council of Firefighters and Firemen's Pension Association merged, become the official firefighters in Idaho. This was a big thing because these were two divergent groups that had separate opinions and were never on the same page when it came to lobbying their state legislature. So this was a big change for them, and if I think Tom Lovell was here, he'd share that as well. This is for your country fans.
In and out of honky tonks, from one town to the next. But anything worth loving more is just too hard to forget. Every day's another wake up, feeling more the same.
Okay, 81, Bob, Freddie, Andrew, and Eric. Eric Pettiferry, where are you? Do you have other family members in the fire service or police officers? Yeah, was your grandfather or Roy? Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Right. I used to be a little related to one of their ex-spouses, which is now my ex-spouse. So, no, we don't come on. The firefighters unified retirement system was established in Montana this year, which was a big deal for those guys. Keep moving. All right, 1982. Jerry, Kelsey, and Chris, you were born. Where's Aaron? I kind of mixed this up. Aaron, now I know it's not a typo. You were actually born in 83, right? But I just put that in. Your mom was pregnant with you this year. I don't know anything about it, but I was trying to mix it up. You know what I mean? So we created our disability plan this year as kind of We had a big problem with young firefighters. They're on softball teams, helicopter skiing, all that kind of stuff, getting hurt. And they had no benefit because they were hurt off duty. So maybe they had 1 or 2 years on the job, they ran out of sick leave, and they were without pay. So we created this disability plan. It covers now, across all 4 states actually, about 4,500 of our members. Many of you are subscribers to our disability plan. And there it is. Okay. Did not happen before 1983. Evan, Day, Jay, and Casey were born in 1983. All right, so we're going to take another little segue. I'll be right back.
The picture of you and I engaged in a kiss. The sweat of your body covers me. Can you, my darling, can you picture this? Ocean of violets and blue. Animals strike curious poses. They feel the heat between me and you. Just be standing alone in a world that's so cold. Maybe I'm just too demanding. Maybe I'm just like my father, too bold. Maybe I'm just like my mother. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Touching in my stomach. Feel how it trembles inside. You got the butterflies all tied up. Don't make me chase you, even doves have pride. Just be standing alone in a world so cold. Maybe I'm just too demanding. Maybe I'm just like my father, too bold. Maybe I'm just like my mother. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when the doves cry.
All right, 1984. This is the year I was hired. This is how I thought of it back then, you know. And the reason this is how I see you guys now. And I see you out your calls with your little beanies and your baseball caps on backwards. I mean, the craziest thing I did in 1984 is I wore a Swatch watch with a red band. Okay, that's about as crazy as it got. Well, I did one other thing. I worked with this Lieutenant Kloppenstein. Guy had a white guy. He had a huge afro, red afro, and he was every day at lunch we'd watch big time wrestling and Bonanza. So I decided I'd grow a tail down the back with just a little one, And so I'd grown that thing out to like 3 inches, and I just sweep it under my collar. We have the strict guidelines just like we have now, and. We're driving down to a meeting and it flipped down. He saw it, he looked over at me like, what in the hell are you thinking? And so I didn't realize that our battalion chief had seen it like the shift before. And we were going down to this meeting and he got his ass chewed for me having the tail. Of course, I went home that afternoon, when we moved back to the station, he cut it off ceremoniously because he took shit for it. So, all right, so this is you. And I've seen some of you guys, believe me. The IAFF created the Human Relations Conference. This was a big deal. In a lot of our major cities, there were big-time problems, racial tension problems. And this was the way our group, the IAFF, created this conference to kind of bring some of those groups together. And it still exists today. We meet every other year. Shay, Tony, and Jack, born this year. Travis, you turned 1.
Time can never mend the careless whispers of a good friend to the heart and mind. Ignorance is kind, but there's no comfort in the truth. Pain is the heart you'll find.
All right, 1985. Brad, Dustin, Kirk, and Hans, you guys were born in 1985. Year after I hired on the fire department. The PFI joins the Education Association and state employees to create their coalition, which was a big thing for them. Did we already go with it? I'm not high, you guys. Keep going.
And I never thought I'd feel this way. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I got the chance to say that I do believe I love you. And if I should ever go away, well then close your eyes and try.
All right, 1986. Donovan, Alan, Colin, and Gabe were born this year. Chief Claude Harris became the first African-American fire chief of a major city in the country. It's a big thing. And also in Tacoma that same year, it was the first year that a woman had promoted past the rank of a firefighter. She became a paramedic. And that didn't seem like that long ago, but that's 1986.
Tossing and turning now, wanna swallow something. Ooh, but wonderland. Well, you know one now, when you just falling away, leaving me baby. I just wanna be the one that you wanna see. I just wanna have you near me.
Okay, 1987, big deal for us in Washington State. We got presumptive lung disease coverage, and we started our Burn Foundation. And our Burn Foundation has been in existence to this day. The prime fundraiser was, at this time we used to do a firefighter calendar, and then when the calendars kind of collapsed over the last few years, we stopped doing that. And really are challenged with funding. We have rented 2 apartments down near Harborview for the last 20 years. So if any one of our members in the 7th District, or really anywhere in the country, happen to fly in or be hurt, we put up their families there for months at a time. And we're in this challenge part right now, trying to figure out how to keep that sustainable now that our other revenue sources have kind of dried up here, rather than depending on the locals. So we're looking for corporate interest and all of those types of things as well. Mark, Ben, Steve, and Tristan, born in 87. And there's a website shot of our Burn Foundation.
Everybody
I seen you guys. I like this shit, actually. I just don't have the guts to do it. It's different, isn't it? Damn badass. All right. 1988. Joe, Michael, Eric, Ron, you guys were born in 88. And this was the first year, man, 1988. Our then President Al Whitehead of the International embraces EMS. And I think that's crazy now. Right now, 95% of our fire departments across the country do EMS. Back at that time, 1988, 60% of our fire departments actually did EMS. So this program went on every year up until about 4 years ago, but now it's switched over to every 2 years because we've done such a great job of advancing EMS, fire-based EMS in this country. So I think I just maybe take it for granted, but that's not the case.
When you called me up this morning, told me about the new love you found, I said I'm happy for you, I'm really happy for you. Found someone else, I guess I won't be coming round. I guess it's over, baby, it's really over, baby. Oh, and from what you said, I know you've gotten over me. It'll never be the way.
All right, 1989, Jack, Blake, Robert, Galen were born this year. The State Council created the last alarm memorial, firefighter memorial, on the state capitol campus in Sherburne building this year. In this year. And it was just a kind of a shadow box with some artifacts in there, the axe and some badges and stuff. And then we had the Squally earthquake, and when they did all the retrofit to the Capitol campus, they took all that stuff down. We have it in storage now. And it's a big process to get a memorial on the state campus. And we have now created, and Pat Ellis may have mentioned it, the Washington State Fallen Firefighter Memorial, working with some corporate interests. The cops have a nice memorial on our state council campus, just on the back side of the Supreme Court building. And they spent about $1 million on that. And if you remember back when those 4 Lakewood police officers were killed, money flooded into those organizations, and that really gave them the seed money to create that. So we figure we've got to raise about $1 million, and then have the ability with an ongoing revenue stream to keep that memorial up. So we're working on all of that. And we hope to have something here in the next 5 years.
I know this pain. Why do you lock yourself up in these chains? No one can change your life except for you. Don't ever let anyone step all over you. Just open your heart and your mind. Is it really fair to feel this way inside? Someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say,
All right, Brandon, Ann, Corey, and Ian, who were born in 1990. This is a year we got a tuition waiver for our children in Washington State should we be killed in the line of duty. So they can go to any public university free for their 4-year tuition and some other support money as well. So this was a big deal for us in Washington State in 1990. 91.
Look into my eyes, you will see what you mean to me. Such a heart, such a soul. And then you find me there, you search no more. Don't tell me it's not worth trying for. You can't tell me it's not worth.
All right, 1991. Garrett, Nick, Kyle, Kevin, born in 91. And you'll see up here, we started fundraising through the Gale Group. And we used to do this phone solicitation fundraising for concerts. We had them in the Tacoma Dome and down in Seattle as well. And what would happen is they would call all over the state, and basically it's a fundraiser. They'd sell 10 times more tickets than capacity to go to the concerts. And because most people just wanted to donate the money. And at the peak for our state association, and we split the profits with the Gale Group, we were bringing in over $1 million a year for these concerts. I remember back, my daughter is 13, be 14 here, just a month. Had the opportunity, Callie and I, to introduce the band, you know, and I remember my little dog, the baby up there, why she was 1 year old at the time when I got up. There was probably maybe 5,000 or 6,000 people there. So it was pretty cool to have that opportunity. All right, we're going to do a little segment here. We are following the life of the firefighter. And I think it's just kind of a natural progression of the condition. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this so you can get anything. There's a little pool back here. We'll let that sit. Oh yeah. And we just let that. All right. Yeah. I always wanted to do that. Little wardrobe malfunction, but I got through it. So, 1992, Gavin, Nick. 1992. OSHA adopts the bloodborne pathogens regulation driven by the IAFF again. Somebody went to 1 meeting, 10 meetings, 100 meetings to make this stuff happen for us. When I hired on May 4, we didn't use gloves, we didn't mask, we didn't have anything. And you guys know the precautions we take now. And this was the start of that piece for us. Understand? Let me click. Okay.
Girl, you know we belong. It's time for you to climb on with us. You can know that, you just we belong together, and you know you're gonna ride. Why do you play me now? Why do you leave me now? Say we do forever.
Sorry. The hell?
Should stay, I would only be in your way.
You guys see this movie, Kevin Costner? Bodyguard.
So I'll go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way. And
I'm giving all the dead artists a little more time, okay, guys? So Mitch, Matt, Cody, Levi, you guys were born in '93. This was a year, and I think Jeff mentioned it a couple days ago. We lowered our retirement age. Now it's 53, but we lowered it from 58 to 55 in Washington State. This was actually the introduction to the World Wide Web dial-up service. I know you guys don't know anything about that stuff, but so we had. So I had AOL service. I still have it. Guys give me shit about it. And I'm paying for it too, if you guys can believe that shit. So I'm working on it, working my way through it though. So I mean, the pages would load like this. And then a few years later, dial-up service got faster. It'd go. When that happened, we're like, shit, that's great. And you can imagine. Nowadays, everything's so instantaneous. How much more difficult it was back then to search and look at certain sites. And I'll leave that up to you guys, all right? 1994.
I've seen the questions in your eyes. I know what's weighing on your mind. But you can be sure I know my part, 'cause I stand beside you through the years. You'll only cry those happy tears, and no
I just reached into my pocket. Last time I had this vest on fishing, and I pull out this. And I'm like, what in the? Smell that? That's purple haze, baby. So, when you're down on the water, things are, you probably sit off, you start thinking. Didn't do it. I'm going to save this for later. All right, guys? The purple haze. Just put that back in here before I forget it. My dad asked me one time, he said, Greg, and I was a child, he said, Greg, do you know the difference between the right thing and the wrong thing? Yeah, I do. Well, what is it? Well, the wrong thing is usually the fun one. You slap. Okay, 1994. Jeffrey, Nikolai, Devin, Andy, you were born in 94. And in Idaho, they successfully implemented their multi-year pension enhancement multiplier from 2% to 2.3. And you know that makes a big difference. We have a very modest pension system in Washington State with only a 2% multiplier, whereas you go down to California, the common multiplier is 3%. You imagine my 33 years on it, get 99% of my pay. A lot of those maxed out at 90. But I know some guys with some roll-ups related to military experience down there. At 29 years, went out with 102% of their pay. So you can see why we may be exposed to some criticisms with those types of pensions. When we negotiated those types of benefits, we knew what the contributions had to be, and most of the time that we take crap here in this country is because the employer has taken holidays related to our pensions. Our pension in Washington State is very healthy. Even when the economy tanked in 2008 and 9, we never dropped below 100%. So you can rest assured that your pension will be there. All right, 95.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize it's legendary. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. He be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying to chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta know. At the group, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night and saying prayers in the street light.
All right, in 1995, Christian Boyd, you were born in 95. Colin, Cody, and Markley has turned 12 this year in 1995. Very sad news back in January 5th in that year, the 4 firefighters that were killed in Seattle in a panic warehouse fire. And it could have easily been 12. Those guys that told the stories that were jumping out of windows when that collapse happened, and several guys were actually burned as well. Kelly and I were down there at the Westin Hotel and set up a hospitality room during those services. Very, very somber event. This was also the year that we started our Benevolent Fund with our state organization, and we're going to talk about what we do with the fund and how we raise revenues as well. Okay, you guys have heard this one before. We would actually go out to clubs and dance that. All right, 96. Nick, Brandon, Jordan, Dominic. Well, Dominic, you turned 6, the other 3 turned 11. In the Washington State, we established line of duty death benefit of $150,000. That's been since upped by COLA. You know what it is now, Kelly? It's over $230, the state benefit. Okay, near $250. And then Idaho started their $100,000 line of duty death benefit.
Goodbye, home, G. No, I never knew you at all. You had the grace to hold yourself. I nose around your wall. You crawled out of the woodwork, and they whispered into your brain. They set you on a treadmill, and they made you change your name.
All right, 1977, you see Brady, Brandon, Eric, and L'Oreal turned 11. But the average firefighter 20 years ago in the nation was 34,400. It's up around $50,000 now. In Washington State, in our left system, the average wage, of course, that's all your high wage earners and your brand new people, in the left system, $97,000 a year. And, of course, that's all in. Overtime counts for our pension in Washington State. No sick leave cash outs or vacation cash outs, but that's what it's risen to. The average person, 97,000. So you can see where we've come from.
I wonder if she could tell with her heart right now. Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Zane's gonna bring a big bass for us next year. So we're gonna have to have some of this stuff.
Come on.
Up that a little.
Don't stop now. You gotta get it. Come on. Yeah. All right. Hold on. Baby, I'm crying. I can see inside.
All right, 98. Michael, Louise turned 6, Connor turned 5, and Chris turned 14. OSHA 2 in, 2 out. This is a big deal. You guys are all familiar with 2 in, 2 out like it always existed. In 1998 is when we passed it. Over the next couple of years, they allowed each state to determine their own standard, with that being the minimum. And we use WSCFF in Washington State. That's our version of OSHA, and that's what's created all of these standards that we have, which really safety related. A lot of us old timers thought this was BS. Just go in and put the fire out. And but this has really led to things being much safer for us. We don't have many people dying of doing something stupid, running into a fire too soon. Generally it's a collapse, and of course the cancers and unforeseen things, failures of equipment. But this whole cowboy attitude, it really worked to control that.
No matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me aside. Can't break through. There's no talking to you. It's so sad that you're leaving. It takes time to believe it. But after all is said and done, you're gonna be the lonely one. Oh, do you believe in life after love?
1999, this is a big year in Seattle. The World Trade Organization meeting happened there, and the Seattle firefighters refused the cops to hose down the crowd with their fire hose for crowd control. I know, I was there in the crowd. So was Jeff Simpson, he was with me. We weren't the real badasses. There were some really bad people there. The Nike store in downtown Seattle, he smashed all the windows and all the banks. And we have a Congressman, Dave Reichert. Some of you guys have probably heard of him. He was the sheriff at the time. One of his claims to fame was they had him on video chasing down with one of these little ninja guys, and it made the national news. He went on to write the Green River Killer book, and he's been a good congressman for us for many years. In 1999, 90% of all of the infrastructure and the dollars represented in that infrastructure in the United States is protected by professional firefighters. And that's a big change from 20 years earlier. You think there's still a lot of volunteers. There's almost twice as many volunteers in Washington State than there are paid. But if you think around all of the populous areas, they get enough tax revenue. With that tax revenue, it allows them to hire people. You go from this volunteer to a combo, and then eventually to all paid department. So, and we also created our medical expense reimbursement plan, which probably most of you in here are on that plan. And that's really set aside money, because of our pension system is lacking for post-retirement medical coverage. Really collect your money now. It earns tax-free, so you have a lifetime benefit when you retire. So if you had a $75 contribution a month for 25 years, you retired, you'd walk away with $370 for life for post-retirement medical. So we have now, across 4 states, we're going down to Texas this summer, they're interested in it. We have 7,000 participants and about $90 million in the bank. So it's a pretty big thing. And then there's the page related to that. All right, so before I go on to this, I just wanted to talk about responsibility. And how lucky you are to have this job. And don't forget, even when you're down fishing and people know you're a firefighter, that you don't, maybe wear stuff that might be mistaken, for being smart ass or something. But and I've got a lot of different shirts. This is one of my favorites. But maybe if you're going out to the bar or something, probably not wear something like this. Certainly if they know you're a firefighter. So just a little word of caution. I just did this to help you get undressed. Okay. Oh yeah.
Always a crazy one, broke into the stadium and I wrote your number on the 50-yard line. You were always the perfect one and a valedictorian, so under your number I wrote call for a good time. I only wanted to get your attention, but you overlooked me somehow. Besides, you had too many boyfriends to mention. Always crazy one, broke into the stadium and I wrote your number on the 50-yard line. You were always the perfect one and a valedictorian, so under your number I wrote call for a good time. I only wanted to get your attention, but you overlooked me somehow. Besides, you had too many boyfriends to mention, and I made my guitar too loud. How you like me now? How you like me now? Now that I'm on my way, you still think I'm crazy, standing here today. We're gonna make you love me, but honestly.
I told you we're following this life. It's my story, okay? We're following this life of firefighter. I'm now retired, living in Palm Springs because that's where all retired firefighters go. I can pretty much do what I want anytime. In fact, I think I have a beer right now. It's 12 o'clock somewhere. There's any Rainier fans here, but I love the Rainier. So, I hang around with my buddies a lot. We tell stories. In fact, we were just drinking the other day, and a buddy of mine told this funny story. He said, it's funny, all us firefighters retire down in Palm Springs. He goes, do you know, Penguin firefighters? They retire in Palm Springs too. All the Penguin firefighters. And he's like, hell yeah, all Penguin firefighters retired in Palm Springs. In fact, just last week, Penguin firefighter was driving in from LA, crossed all the windmills. If you guys have been down there, car breaks down. So, like all Penguin firefighters, he has AAA, calls AAA. Guy comes in, hooks him up, takes him to the garage. The guy in the garage says, hey, it's going to be about an hour. You wouldn't think a Penguin would, want to go down the heat of Palm Springs, but so this Penguin did. So he's walking along the sidewalks, and he comes across this ice cream parlor. He's like, oh my God, ice cream sounds good. So he goes in, orders the ice cream, big bowl, vanilla ice cream, and he's eating it. Like, Penguin can't hold the spoon, so he just starts flipping it in, out, eating it down. And he looks at his watch, he's like, oh shit, it's been over an hour, I will run back to the garage. So he waddles into the garage, and the mechanic is under his car. And he comes out, rolls out on a dolly. He says, hey, I got some bad news. He looks up at Penguin, and it looks like you've blown a seal. And Penguin's like, no, that's just ice cream. See, old timers can get by with that shit, all right? That's it. Shut up, shaking. Funny story on that. So I was at a fire chiefs conference, and Kelly couldn't make it. It was over in Wenatchee. I was at Crescent Bar. I said, I went down there and talked to him. So I spoke for like an hour, and I closed with that joke. And I swear to God, 3 guys in the crowd, yeah! Everybody else, nothing. So, and then they even discussed it at their e-board meeting, their state chiefs association, kind of blackballed me. I've never been invited back, so. Where's my, have I talked about this slide yet? No. All right, yeah, so this is the year in 2000, we went from 55 then down to 53. The Assistance to Fire Grant Program was established with the Fire Act. That was a big deal. In my department, I write the grants, and between SAFER and Fire Act grants, I brought in about $5 million. And my goal is to bring in more money than they paid me for my career, and I'm just about there. I think it all sounds like a lot, doesn't it? So James turned 14, Trevor 14, Kent was 12, and JD turned 9 in 2000.
Desperate for changing, starving for truth. I'm closer to where I started, I'm chasing after you. I'm falling even more in love with you, letting go of all I've held on to. I'm standing here until you make me move. I'm laying back on you.
I'm retired. Sorry. All right, so 2001, we got Taylor, Gavin, Matt. Well, you guys turned 8. Aaron turned 15. The federal death benefit was raised to $250. I think I mentioned that. It's now up to $343. The state council starts our firefighter action support team. Now we have about 1,800 of us voluntarily contributing to that plan and bringing in about $125,000 a year. The cycle for us in Washington State in our budget is we set aside $200,000 a year. So we discuss elections in the 2-year cycle. So we have about $650,000 available to us in the 2-year cycle for politics, thanks to all of our members. And then NFPA 1710 passes. That was a big deal. The IAFF set up, we all went down to Anaheim and went to their meeting, about 1,400 of us, and helped pass 1710. So that's the standard we use related to response times. That was really the start of accreditation for many departments, and it's a really big deal for what you guys do as far as your turnout times, response times, dispatch, all of that, all of those things. And there's our fast pack donation form.
Never made it as a wise man, I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Tired of living like a blind man, I'm sick of selling out a sense of feeling. And this is how you remind me. This is how you remind me of what I really am. This is how you remind me of what I really am. It's not like you say sorry, or rules written on a different story. This time I'm mistaken for letting your heart break.
All right, 2002, Max and Pete turned 11. presumptive heart disease becomes law in Washington State. Somebody went to 1 meeting, 10 meetings, 100 meetings to make this happen. And in addition, 7090 passed, which is really our governing board for our pension system in Washington. Kelly has sat on the chair of that since it began officially in 2003. This was in November of 2002. And there's a picture of our left board.
Go, show. It's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip the party like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give a fuck that that's your birthday. We find me in the club, I'm full of bug with money. I got the hands to get to take a drug. I'm in the having sex, I ain't really making love. So come give me a hug, get it up. You find me in the club, I'm full of bug with money. I got the hands to get to take a drug. I'm in the having sex, I ain't really making love. So come give me a hug, get it up. I'm front, it's on deal. I'm on 20 G's, 29s in the club. When I fucking Dre, now they wanna show me love. When you say like in
I had to play 2 extra seconds, that 50 Cent. This is shit. All right, Ian, Tony, Travis, and Mike, who turned 16 this year. Hometown Hero Survivors Act passes Congress for Cover Us for heart attack and stroke in the line of duty. The Safer Grant program was established, which is kind of goes in hand with the Fire Act, but this is for hiring firefighters. And then we created our JTC program in Washington State, which now includes about 45 departments, and we fund that at $400,000 a year that the legislature gives us. And really, it's a reimbursement for academy time and for class time. There's a copy of our JTC.
Pizza, A-Town.
Sorry, guys. Zach, Scott, and Michael turned 68. It's funny, Zach came up and introduced himself to me last night. And when I was in my academy in 1984, his father was my instructor, and became very good friends with him and his mom, Kathy. They're divorced now, but I remember one time they went to Hawaii, this is before Zach was even born, and Mike asked if I'd watched their house, and they had these 2 Siamese cats. And so I go there the first time, I'll watch them. And I go there the first day, go to look around, go up on the house, to go through the house looking for them. I don't see them. And but I go into their master bedrooms, and the cat said shit right in the middle of the bed. And I'm like, God, what's I'm in there, sticking that shit up. So I go downstairs, and they have some French doors out in the back of their deck, so I'm out there like, and then I look behind me, and those 2 cats walked out back. They're indoor cats. They've never been outside. And I'm like, oh my shit, keep. And one of them ran back in, but the other one took off into the woods. They're in Hawaii. I'm not calling them. So I can see the little bastard out there, way out there on the log, looking at me. Every time I'd move forward, the thing would move backwards 10 feet, and I'm like, so the thing ended up being outside for 2 days. I finally lured it in. I just left the door open, had some food, finally got too hungry. Put up that shit. All right, so our duty disability law passed in Washington State. And also we created a firefighter license plate. We bring in about $125,000 a year from our firefighter plate alone. We've got about 4,500 plates across 2,200 people. Many people have several plates. I've got 4 plates on my vehicles and motorcycle. And we use that money, along with some other dollars, to create a scholarship program for our graduating seniors, our members, graduating seniors going to vocational college, four-year institution, junior college. And we just, that committee just met this last month, and we gave out $45,000 in scholarships to our graduating seniors. So certainly keep that in mind. I know you guys are a little ways from that happening, unless there was, junior high pregnancy or something. But, and then the Alaska Professional Firefighters State Association also forms. Kelly, myself, Ricky Walsh, we went up there and helped them create their state association in 2004. And there's a picture of our license plate. 2005. We're getting there.
Raymond's in his Sunday best. He's usually up to his chest in oil and grease. There's the Martins walking in with that mean little freckle-faced kid who broke a window last week. Sweet Miss Betty likes to sing off-key in the pew behind me. That's what I love about Sunday.
2005. As I saw this big cloud of smoke going, can you even smoke inside? All right, 2005. Gabe and Brandon turned 17. Ken turned 19. Better to ask for forgiveness, I say. Montana firefighter license state becomes law. They consider a revenue source for them. But this was some bad news back in 2005. Alaska had a defined pension benefit, which changed to a defined contribution plan, a tier 4 for those guys. So that was bad news. And we were all following that with that sad news. And those guys worked hard against that kind of steep roll. And there is a copy of Montana's plate. 2006.
Where is the moment we need it the most? You kick up the leaves and the magic is lost. And tell me your blue skies fade to gray. And tell me your passion's gone away. And I don't need no care, no. Stand alive just a little bit low.
All right, 2006. Tyler, Matt turned 12, and Chris, you turned 18 in 2006. So this healthcare enhancement for local public safety helps Retiree Act basically says that when we retire as firefighters, subject to international, to 1 meeting, 10 meetings, 100 meetings, to help get this passed, the first $3,000 that we spend on healthcare is tax deductible. So the savings is to the degree of your tax bracket. So if your tax bracket is 40% when you retire, you're saving $600 a year. And it's funny, a lot of our retirees, we usually come to me in our department, and you have to do it through the retirement system, refuse to do this. Because the payment for your medical has to go directly from your check, your retirement check, to your provider. It's really semantics here, and that's what makes it eligible. But they refuse to do it because they don't trust DRS, and they're losing out on that money every year. We also created Firefighters Day with the Mariners, and we've done it to this day. I have got a slide here on this next one coming up in July. Certainly encourage you all to attend. A pretty cool event. One of the greatest things about that was we get to choose somebody to throw out the first pitch. Kelly's done it. Kelly did it the first year. I did it a few years later. So you can imagine this. Mine was probably like 2009 or something. And you don't want to be embarrassed, like throw it in the dirt or something, or at least throw it from the mound. We actually had one of our guys throw it from the grass in front of the mound. Let's see. So I'm nervous about this, and it's a day game on a Sunday. I got my kids there, you know. So in Puyallup, now Central Pierce, down in California, they have this little fire engine they drive around. So I'm in this fire engine with my bunker coat and helmet. We come into the outfield in center field, drive all the way around on the warning track on the dirt, all the way up to home plate. I get out, and the crowd's crazy, you know. And so I take my helmet off, my bunker coat off, and that morning, so I'm thinking about this. I'm man, if I screw this up, I'm never going to live it down. So one of my kids, Kate, he had one of those little pitchbacks, those nets you throw it to, you know, bang, you know, throws it back to you. So I go out in the morning, and my neighbor's house is like 20 feet from my house. It's not, we don't have a fence or anything. So I set that pitchback up there, like 20 feet away. Wind up, first pitch, threw it completely over the pitchback. I'm like, look. So I get the ball, I throw it, and it hits kind of on the side of the pitchback, goes over and hits my neighbor's house. And I'm like, oh Jesus, I don't know what's going to happen. But sure enough, I'll let you guys know. I threw that thing high, inside, just in the strike zone. Right, Kelly?
Yeah, it was just like that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So there is the picture that helps. And then there's the, so this is, what's it say, July 22nd there, Kelly, so it says? 23rd, our firefighter day. So please,
Yankees.
yeah, against the Yankees, buy a ticket, we'll have a giveaway. It's either a hat or a t-shirt. I'm not sure what we designed this year, but please, if you get an opportunity, do come to the game.
Driving through town, just my boy and me, with a Happy Meal in his booster seat, knowing that he couldn't have the toy till his nuggets were gone. A green traffic light turned straight to red. I hit my brakes and mumbled under my breath as fries went a-flying and his orange drink covered his lap.
That's the extended White Country Western dance.
Said a four-letter word. It started with S, and I was concerned. So I said, son, now where to learn?
Yes, ma'am? This is a fake one. I know that's the beauty about it, right? Okay. 2007. We created our Power Participation Program. Some of you may have seen it before, and hopefully in the next few years you will. We spent a lot of time on this, and it really is from soup to nuts, everything from the international AFL-CIO, State Council, your local, all in one package. So please, if you get a chance to do that, you're really your district rep. We've kind of moved around the states as well. Laura, Ben, and Kyle. Well, Laura and Ben, you turned 20, and Kyle, you turned 25 in 2007. And there's a picture of her. All right, I'm ending the story. This priest, ophthalmologist, and a cop were playing golf one day. They're at the local golf course. They started at 8 o'clock, and they're playing behind this other threesome that is just painfully slow. And it's out. It's here, like the real boss. I saw the boss mark. It's out. Okay. Ruined my beard, but I got another one. So they're playing golf, and I always have this stare, So they're playing golf just painfully slow. And these guys in front of them, they tee off, and then they're out there like looking for the ball every single time. The priest is, swearing, using God's name in vain. The ophthalmologist, hey, I've got some appointments at noon, some clients, patients. And the cop, typical cop, he's just saying these pricks. So the marshal stops by and the priest waves him down and says, hey, can you get these guys moving? This is terrible. He goes, hey, I'm sorry, Father. I know you probably saw in the news last year when we had our warehouse fire and all of our fertilizer that was stored there, and there was that big, blinding explosion. Well, these are 3 of the firefighters that were there, and it burnt their retinas, and they can't see very good. So we, the whole board here at the clubhouse, the golf course decided whenever those guys want to come play, because they saved hundreds of lives and many, many houses, and our clubhouse as well. So we let them play for free. And the father's like, oh my God, I've been praying for them. I'm sorry, I used God's name in vain. The ophthalmologist says, hey, I got a surgeon friend, I'll talk to him. Maybe he'll, donate the surgery, whatever we need to do. Then the cop, he's sitting there thinking, he goes, well, why don't they just play at night? Typical cop. All right, here we go. You guys are like this.
Let me talk to him. Let me talk to him. Let it rain. Let me talk to him. Come on.
Chris and Andy turned 20, and Josh turned 18 in 2008. And this was the Alaska State Association for Past Presumptive Language. Do you see the common theme here? Someone went to 1 meeting, 10 meetings, 100 meetings, generally for nothing, and got these kinds of legislation passed for you. You're the beneficiaries of that legislation. And it's a really big deal for them in Alaska. All right. You back.
They hit the beat the block, you can get that bass on the low. I got that rock, that future flow, that digital spit, next level visual shit. I got that. How do we bang?
That boom boom pow, them chickens jacking my style. They try to copy my swagger. I'm on that next shit now. I'm so 3008, you so 2008. I got that boom boom boom, that future boom boom boom. Let's get that.
Gotta get that. Gotta get that. Gotta get that. Gotta get that. That boom, that boom. That supersonic bird, gotta hear that spaceship. When I step inside the room, then girls go ape shit. Y'all stuck on super 8 shit. That low bar stupid 8-bit. I'm on that HD black. HD go boom boom back. I'm a beast when you turn me on. Into the future, Cybertron. Harder, faster, better, stronger. Takes the ladies extra longer. Cause we gotta beat that bounce. We gotta beat that pound. We gotta beat that 808. Got people in your town.
People in a place. If you wanna get down, put your hands up. Will I am drop the beat down.
I'll be rocking in beats. Yeah, yeah. I'll be rocking in beats. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here we go, satellite radio, y'all get hit with the boom, boom. Beat so big, I'm stepping on every girl. She know y'all with the boom, boom. She know y'all with the boom, boom. She know y'all with the. This beat be bumping, bumping. This beat go boom, boom.
Okay, now. We're following this firefighter now. He's been retired for a few years. And believe me, you're going to get old. And you like to think you're not, but you're going to get old. In fact, I'm getting so old I forgot my clicker back here. All right. 2009. Can you hear me? 2009. Mike, Jake, Andy, kids turned 20. Big deal in Washington State. We passed our catastrophic disability coverage. Two real levels. One, Catastrophic, you're really so mad that you meet the Social Security definition of catastrophic, and you have this tax-free benefit. And the other piece is just a regular disability where you wouldn't take a reduction in your pension. Prior to this, there was a firefighter that was in Seattle many, many years ago, was a year on the job, went into a fire, was attacked by a Doberman, pushed him in the fire. He had 1 year on the job, and his pension was like $32 a month. So you can imagine the difference this made. This didn't get us all the way there like some states, but it got us far over there. Then all those guys there to turn 20.
Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. Grab my glasses, I'm out the door. I'm gonna hit this city. Before I leave, brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack. Cause when I leave for the night, I ain't coming back. I'm talking back here on my toes, trying on all our clothes, boys blowing up our phones, and drop top and playing our favorite CDs, pulling up to the parties, trying to get a little bit tipsy. Don't stop, make it pop, DJ gonna freak us up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sun.
All right, you see there, Alex, Cody turned 21, Josh turned 30 this year. And this is a big deal. Discipline related to texting and postings on the internet hits an all-time high. It's a big problem for us. I know Norm hit on DUI type stuff, drugs and alcohol. We have another attorney we work with, Bill Aitchison, out of Oregon, that talks about these things. There's just a few examples here in the paper: alcohol, sex photos lead to California firefighters discipline. Exclusive details, sex, lies, and text messages, the Carter Fire Department. And then the last one there, guy goes on a call, and he gets on Facebook and starts bad-mouthing the patients he was on. Discipline, it's all bad stuff. So I know you all have policies are in development related to all of these things. So please be very cautious in doing that.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching the fever pitch, just bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay your shit bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching the fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark.
All right, 2011. Lauren and Skylar turned 21. And really, this really comes from the Great Recession here in '89. These attacks on us from the Koch brothers and the Arnold Foundation are going to continue. Are going to continue, and that's why we have these big political action funds. That's why you're here to get engaged, because we're going to need your help in the future. And we were really in this defensive mode. These people literally have billions and billions of dollars compared to our millions. But with our reputation across our communities, it's helped save us. And we're seeing states all over the country lose their collective bargaining rights and going to right to work.
I know I gotta put in the hours, make the money while the sunlight shines. But anything I gotta get done, it can get done some other time. Time is love, gotta run, love to hang longer, but I got someone who waits for me, and right now she's where I need to be. Time is love.
All right, so Jeremy turned 19, Kelly and Christian turned 22. We created a relationship with KISW, Seattle's Best Rock. There's really the men's room show that's in the morning. They created a vodka, and we have a bottle here. They created this bottle of vodka called Worker Number 9 and sold it, and the proceeds from that went to our benevolent fund. Now you'd think, we hook ourselves up to alcohol, and that really wasn't the message that they spread to their listenership. And we got about, in the end, I think we got about $7,000 off of sales here. It was just discontinued this last year because the sales weren't that great. But it was a great relationship, which really led to a couple other things that we're going to talk about here in just a couple other slides. So we're really rolling down to the finish here. There's Jeremy, Kelly, Chris. And there's a picture of our Worker Number 9 vodka. This is classic. Turn this up, Zane.
Some tags, only got $20 in my pocket. I'm looking for another. This is fucking awesome. Walkers in the club like, what up? I got a big hot top.
Oh shit!
It's hot house, pumped up on some shit from the thrift shop. I see the fringe is so damn frosty. The people like, damn, that's a cool ass honky. Rolling in hella deep, headed to the mezzanine. Dressed in all pinks and my gator shoes. Girls are buying drink, then I let them make girls standing next to me. Probably should've watched this. Smells like Markley.
Love that song. All right, 2013. Daniel and Scott turned 26. And this was another relationship. They created our Warm Courts for Kids program. Many of you have probably participated in it. KISW this last year, through the Men's Room Show, helped us raise $30,000 from their listenership, which they gave to our benevolent fund that we then went on to participate with Warm Coats for Kids. We jump from that right to this. You guys know that.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon, never goes famous. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy, I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof, because I'm happy, I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm happy, I'm alone. If you know what happiness is to you, because I'm happy, I'm alone. If you feel like that's what you want to do.
All right, 2014. We started a medical plan through our state council. We created a MERT plan, so you have a benefit when you retire, and we wanted you to basically just, seamlessly roll into a medical plan. And this started in 2014. We have 30 locals in that plan now, with over 2,000 of us and 6,000 belly buttons with our dependents. We have participants not only in our 4 states in the 7th district, but also in Connecticut and Illinois. And we're looking at Florida and Nevada as well. There's Garrett, turned 23, as well as Bendon. Maybe that's Brendan, probably a little typo there. Maybe Ben. Is it Bendon? Is he here? Bendon? Unique. All right, there's our Northwest Firefighter Trust page. And this is good shit. Turn this up.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, better days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place.
All right, 2015. Tyler, Steve, you turned 24 this year. And that's our Healthy and Healthy Out document. I won't go over that. I know Bob hit you with that. I don't know if he mentioned that this has been translated into Spanish and French as well. And it's going worldwide. That document is kind of the premier document for best practices related to Christians. Okay, we're getting it. Just come on.
For all the times that you rain on my parade,
I know you all love
and all the clubs you get in using my name. You think you broke my heart, oh girl, for goodness sake. You think I'm crying on my own, well I ain't. And I didn't wanna write a song, cause I didn't want anyone thinking I still care or don't. But you still hit my phone up. And baby, I've been moving on, and I think it should be something I don't wanna hold back. Maybe you should know that my mama don't like you, and she likes everyone. And I never like to admit that I was wrong. And I've been so caught up in my job, didn't see what's going.
All right, 2006. Zach and Jared, you turned 26. And I think President Lovell may have mentioned this yesterday, or Cindy, I don't know if you guys had mentioned about passing their presumptive language. It says 14 years. I know it's a lot longer than that, so it's a very, very big thing for them. So 2017, I don't know what the top song's going to be, and I'll add it next year. But there's a couple of things I wanted to hit on. I know if it's been touched here. We opened our wellness center with the IAFF, and we passed, even in Washington State, where we have a Republican Senate, and Mike and Jeff, to their testament, we passed some PTSD legislation, which is very important for us. All right, to wrap this thing up, we've got one more change. Remember this firefighter, we're following this firefighter through his life. John. As you know, he was a great guy, and I had a lot of time to visit with him. And the family, of course, is torn up, and they just wanted me to read a little statement for him. We gather here today to remember a dear friend, husband, father, brother, and firefighter. After serving over 30 years as a firefighter in our community, and another 30 years in retirement. John lived life to the fullest, with no regrets. He left everything on the field of life. He was available 24/7 for his family and his extended community. He spent his adult life promoting his firefighter union and his unwavering commitment to the betterment of the lives of young firefighters all across this country. Firefighting is not an easy job. It requires sacrifices, including long hours, time away from family and friends, missing birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, the other special moments in the lives of our children. John often preached about the importance of a just and fair pension after serving a long career. He talked about the fact he was able to have a modest but secure life since his retirement, due to the very pension that he worked so hard to establish some 50 years ago. Now that we say goodbye to John, he can rest in peace knowing that his wife, Margaret, will continue to receive the very same pension that he had because of those decades. John knew the key to success in this life could be measured by the relationships he created and fostered over the years. He mentored young firefighters to become not only skilled tradesmen, but active participants in the union. He loved life, his family, and his union. He will certainly be missed. We'll miss his sense of humor. Just last week, I was sitting with John, and he said to me, "Father, if we were on a boat and there was only one life jacket," he said he'd miss me so much. May John rest in eternal peace. God bless John and the union he so loved. There'll be refreshments in the atrium after we're done. And the family certainly thanks you for coming. Thank you for participation. And I'm going to go into the back room and meet with the family. And we'll have another guy come out and finish this thing I'm back. First, let's see if I can fish. Forgot about that. I don't know, man. Holy shit. I got something. Come on, baby. Come to daddy. Come to... Oh, he's pulling. He's pulling. Just a second. I got him. You guys get one? He's a fighter. Come here, you bastard. Come here. Come to daddy. Okay. You want to mess with me? I see you. I see you. Well, shit, we got a trout, you guys. I'm going up for dinner. Let's just stop him right down there and just sit there. All right, we're almost done. We're almost done. So, I talked about our Mariners Night, right? And I talked about our vodka. So if you guys would get up and turn your chairs over, there's a piece of paper that says worker number 9. I got 6 of those, and I have Mariners tickets for a game, 2 each for our Terrace Club tickets. I don't know whoever was there. Well, and I checked these front airplanes too. I'm not sure exactly where I put them all. You'll see it's a postcard. Oh, 3x5 card. No. All right, sit back down. Oh, you got it. We'll do it afterwards, all right? So, I guess that was my interpretation of Cradle to Grave for us, right? We're here as an organization to help each other. And certainly along the way, we need to depend on each other. Imagine all the things, 1 meeting, 10 meetings, 100 meetings, 1,000 meetings that have happened for you, that have created the benefits that you have. And that's what this conference is about. And it's really about, we need your participation and your help. So please go back to your local, get engaged at whatever level you can do it. Even if it's just going to union meetings, please do participate. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed it. Just my crazy, whimsical way of trying to get you guys something a little different. So, thank you.
Anybody want to take a dead fish home? It's real. All right, so I'm going to ask you